Kimberlin and Jolkert have been living in the US since 2023. Here in South Florida, home to most Venezuelans in the country, they closely monitor President Trump's threats against Nicolas Maduro and the massive military buildup in the region. They want to see regime change in their country, but are concerned about its implications.
It's an internal struggle. Sometimes you say yes and sometimes no. One day you wake up and say yes, let them intervene militarily. The next day you say, but what if a bomb falls on my father's house, on a hospital, on children?
While his wife is afraid about the impact on civil society, she believes international intervention is the only possible way to remove authoritarian leader Nicolas Maduro.
In Venezuela, there are no longer any political ways to remove that regime. They have tried everything. They stole the elections from us. Anyone who expresses a different opinion is arrested, persecuted, and tortured. Women, men, and lately entire families have been kidnapped.
Far away from home, many here in Doral, a Miami neighborhood often referred to as Doralzuela, due to its large Venezuelan community, support a military intervention. But while people here might be supporting President Trump's pressure against Nicolas Maduro, it's not clear that if the White House decides on a military intervention, how President Trump, the self-declared peace president, will be able to convince his base that this step is necessary, especially considering that one of his campaign promises was to end America's endless wars. Omar Gonzalez, a Venezuelan opposition politician who now lives in exile in the US, claims this is a national security matter for the White House and that there's a lot at stake for Caracas, but also for Washington, D.C.
President Trump is putting his status as the head of the world's leading power on the line. I don't believe that this immense mobilization of aircraft, nuclear submarines, and the largest aircraft carrier on the planet is a bluff or just to show off power.
Following the disputed July 2024 presidential election, Omar Gonzalez, along with several other opposition figures, fled to the Argentinian embassy to avoid arrest in a crackdown on opposition leaders. After more than a year in the embassy, they were rescued and arrived in the US. Now, Omar Gonzalez is part of the political party Vente Miami, along his colleague José Graterol, and continues his advocacy work from exile. Though less vocal than those calling for intervention, some Venezuelans quietly fear what a military action could mean for the country and for a region already scarred by past interventions. But they share one thing: the hope for a swift return to democracy at home.